the intro. I'm at Barnes & Noble working, okay? I got this hoodie on, little smooth jump I just caught at the local thrift. Mind you, I'm just getting into thrifting. I got this fit on to look good and nothing else. At most, I'm trying to bag an earthy black girl who's into self-help books. She got something to prove, okay? And there will always be room for a reformed demon on my roster. But like I said, I'm focused until I get a tap on my shoulder. I am elated because I'm thinking some fine shit pulled up to Barnes & Noble, seeing me sitting there all handsome and single, skin glistening. I'm ready to drop drawers immediately, okay? I turn around and to my surprise, a 6'1" Caucasian male towering over my extra sweet vanilla latte with 2 pumps of syrup. Then he's gonna ask me, when did I pledge? First of all, sir, I don't even like this country. Then he's like, no, bro. When did you pledge to Alpha Omega Sci-Fi Wi-Fi? I'm looking at bro like, what the fuck is Omega Wi-Fi? Because all I seen in my network tab is Barnes & Noble guest. No wonder I couldn't get no work done. I knew something was wrong when I tried uploading my October dump and it took 13 minutes to upload and it still looked like a Minecraft texture pack. Slide me the password to the Omega Wi-Fi, please. I'm thinking I'm about to get the hookup, right? But to my amazement, he is not talking about an internet service provider. He's talking about a frat. I did not know in my 24 years of existing that someone's life story could sound like a cry for help. See, because I was under the impression by at 35, you would at least have like a couple things that you're proud of, like things and achievements that you enjoy talking about, maybe even some kids. Cause you gotta think about it, for this to be his most notable moments on this planet, and for it to include none of the things that I just listed, he needs to include one of these in his shopping cart, okay? And he needs to take a long look at himself and tell himself that he's a loser. You have to do some self-reflection at that point. So now I am actively trying to find a way to like leave this conversation, right? Because I have no concern about your very plain and very boring, no offense, life stories. When I tell you he went on what felt like a 15-minute explanation about his frat, about his school days, and not one time did he mention a single class or a single black woman. And that one moment right there, while he was telling me about how he remembers all these events as if it were yesterday, it hit me. The amount of people that peak in college doesn't actually make sense. There is a glaring and distinct difference between person A and person B that makes person A turn into someone who's happy, successful, and appreciative of life, and person B who turns into a Papa John's pizza employee. And there's nothing wrong with working at Papa John's, okay? Domino's is better, but there is a problem if you have $200,000 in debt and Papa John's is your end all be all. So when this tall Caucasian individual was talking to me, the more he spoke, the less responsible he sounded. You had how many edibles and missed how many classes? You're behind on your taxes, aren't you? If you're someone who's about to go to college and you genuinely are looking forward to it and can't wait to go live out the college experience, I'm not saying you're going to peak in college. It is going to be very hard to get that marinara smell out of your hair. You might be walking around smelling like a pizza, but I got you though. I can save you. Look, it all starts out with going to college for the wrong reasons or no reason at all. And I'm not an old head, okay? Y'all be calling me unk like I won't bag your like older sister or something. You can go to college for a profession or job that's not gonna pay you a lot of money. This is not 1977, okay? The only way to make money doesn't come from either going to war or going to college anymore. We have other avenues of getting that pape. now, okay? The struggling artist trope literally doesn't exist anymore. Like, yes, okay, like, do I be struggling sometimes? There's a couple of days out the week where all I can afford is a McChicken, but like, we're living kind of smooth. Like, hold on, clap it up for the Christmas decorations on time. I ain't gonna lie, y'all see the tree? Ain't no lights in it, lights on the ceiling. We're kind of straight. You get what I'm saying? So don't get trapped in this mindset that your degree makes or breaks your life or is what's gonna make you peak in college. That's not the thing that's gonna make you peak in college. And a lot of people think that's the reason you do peak in college. But in actuality, peaking in college isn't about what you gain. It's about how you feel, which is set up way before you even step into or onto a college campus. If you don't want to wake up one day with your hairline receding, you gotta go put gas in your car, but your tire's flat, so you Uber to the nearest tire shop, and when you go into there to get a spare tire, you see a person you kinda knew in college driving your dream car with your crush in the passenger seat while they're getting their oil changed, then I got you, because these are the only things that you need to avoid the lifestyle of someone who peaked in college. It starts with intention, okay? And it ends with intention. I had a homie named Chris. He knew that I wasn't going to college. Mind you, again, this was before my YouTube channel popped. I wasn't going because spending $20,000 to try and figure out what I like never sounded like a smart plan to me. I don't care how foreign my parents are. They gonna have to treat me like Prince Zuko before I went to college. Okay? Chris was just like me, but he signed up to be an architect. Fam, I am not joking. I have never seen this man create a drawing in the 4 years we attended high school together. When I asked him why, he looked me dead in my eye and said, "I always wanted to know how houses are made." That's not even the same shit. Chris, how many inches are in a foot? Shit, about 14. Holy shit, that building better have extra floors on it. If he becomes an architect, it's gonna be windows on the floor and granite countertops on the ceiling. Because why would you wait until the last second to start figuring it out? No, actually, wait, no, scratch that. Figuring it out would be giving him too much credit. He just chose what he thought he would be interested in without ever actually trying to see if he's gonna be interested in it. And I, for the life of me, do not know that if he's ever actually gotten into a class or a single lecture that had to do with architecture, if I'm being 1,000,000,000% honest. But I'm not a hater, okay? You go chase your dreams. I support you. As of today, Chris is not an architect. That's why you need intention before college, during college, and after college, because the next trap that I see just as much people falling into is what I like to call the scene. And nothing's wrong with the scene, okay? Go to college, have fun, enjoy yourself. However, once you start missing back-to-back classes and doing back-to-back acid, look, you're about to peak. Go do an internship. You got 0 hours logged into your career and 200 hours locked into Call of Duty and 200 hours logged into Battlefield. You're shooting for the wrong target. And let me say this right now. For the people that's gonna be like, "Oh, that's not true. I did blink and blink every day and I didn't peak in college. Look at how much money I make." You can make a lot of money, be stable, have the job you want, and still have peaked in college. Just because you go, completed it, and whatnot doesn't mean that you couldn't be more. The reason I know this is because I went bar hopping, which, can I just add, is a waste of time. 6th Street, Austin, Texas, walking around sober feels like a punishment. And if I could ask the smells from that street for consent before entering my nose, I would, because I be getting fucked up. I am not a fan. And I'm not a mind reader. But when I'm out on 6th Street and someone's super faded and crossed and can barely walk, they look both happy and lifeless. It's the same feeling that I get when I see somebody who's been on the video game for too long, and you could see that they're just like ignoring their responsibilities as like an adult. If you're a kid, a little different. An adult, it's not even that the games are bad, because everybody does need a little bit of a break from life at some point. But there is a very definitive line between taking a break and running from your responsibilities / reality. And at that point, a break is not a break anymore. So when I'm walking down 6th Street and the vibes that I'm getting is that there is some late assignment and lack of planning in the air, I feel uncomfortable. Not even just like for me, I feel like uncomfortable for them. Doing that too many times is not an experience that's easy to replicate once you graduate. It's hard to reach that level of bliss again because drugs and alcohol are depressants, and you could be missing chances to be a better you. Do I care what y'all do? Absolutely not. But I won't sit here and lie to y'all. That is a good track to smell like fresh pepperoni and garlic sauce. And as someone who's never attended college but hung around college kids, to know if you're a peaker already, like right now, if you're still wearing your class ring everywhere and the frat or like 1 or 2 achievements that you accomplish is a part of your personality at all times, you peaked in college. Bro, remember when coach subbed me in and I got 2 sacks? Like, bro, it was nice. I'm not even gonna hold you, but you're 41. Please, for the greater good, bring that up once a year. Celebrate yourself, that's fine, but be mindful. I can only be so happy for an achievement from 20 years ago, bro. You haven't touched that school since the library had typewriters in it. You gotta relax. And if you are an alumni who is at campus more than the freaking students who pay to go there, you peaked, okay? Go play with your son. Go play with a job application. If you're out there for a good reason, like tutoring, presentations, homecoming, that's fine. You're there as a productive member of society. But being there to hang out after 24, shoot, maybe even 23, you do not need to pull up every day. Every day, you are not a teacher. I'm scrolling on TikTok. It's 18, 19-year-old shorties with poster dresses on around men and women who took a Claritin to get out of bed this morning. Something about that image in my head just screams disaster. And look, I'm not keeping tally, okay? The old heads can do what they want, gang. Like, I do not care. I just hope that it's not an everyday thing, because at some point, right, you just have to embrace your new life. And that can only really happen once you give up your old life, okay? And look, I think that's possible by just like coming to like every other homecoming or like every other football game. Call me a hater, I don't care. It's just, I feel like I see what they really out there for. I see what they really want to do while they're there. And that is smack at the other grandmas and grandpas in the vicinity. And I don't want to see that, Sharon. I'm just saying, I'm there to see a different ball get tossed, all right? Yo, that was all right. And it does not look like they were there for the football game. They are there reliving their greatest times in their life, and that should not be the case. And I get why this happens. I really do. College is by far one of the easiest places to get everything most teens and young adults want at that time. It's like taking a kid who's been broke their whole entire life to Santa's factory and being like, ooh, here's an unlimited supply of everything that you wanted, but you're only allowed to take one thing at a time. But the thing that ends up happening is, as soon as the kid realizes, hey, there's no consequences if I take 10 things at a time, if I take 20 things at a time, back to back nights, every night's a party, every night's a vibe. It kind of sounds like I'm talking about drugs. I'm not talking about drugs. I'm talking about just having an abundant amount of fun without without being aware of the repercussions. Because if you take that same kid out of Santa's factory after 4 years, who are only able to give him one gift every other year, that same kid will literally never be able to enjoy Christmas to the levels that he did ever again. Like, let me land. Y'all see what I'm saying? I'm preaching right now. I'm just trying to show that peaking in college by losing yourself in the fun of it is the reason that some of y'all don't got anything to say past them college stories. Look, it's a real thing. Not to even mention, what also makes all of this harder is how glorified and amazing the college experience sounds like. Like, nobody even talks about like the classes and the horrible parts of it, unless it is to say that it's horrible or to talk about how confusing like a paper is or something like that. But if you're like somebody who's like from a small town or something like that, you're thinking about all the people that you could meet from overseas, different ethnicities, whatever. You could be so focused on that. Or if you just never been popular, or if you're just looking for a new friend group, or if you're just trying to set the reset button on life. College literally has that for you. Matter of fact, some colleges brand that, like they market that. That's why I said I understand it. Okay. I understand it now. The simple amount of excess that comes from college is so vast that it literally can't be ignored in this video when I'm talking about peaking in college. But at that same time, it's also up to you to understand that because it's so vast, it will be there for the entirety of your time there. So do not chase that freedom so aggressively and just go in it over and over and okay. Unlimited fine shit, unlimited ways to drink, parties, meet people, reasons to leave your house, activities to occupy your time, ways to meet the homies, etc. I mean, just think about it. You give a nigga who's never even had a free crib for more than 24 hours an entire dorm room in the same vicinity of girls who think starting in OF is a real option, and you think he's gonna focus on organic chemistry and intro to business? Are you kidding? No wonder niggas think college is a scam. It was built for y'all to fail. You got to be aware. I'm trying to save y'all, because peaking in college, haha, yeah, it is a funny thing, but it can't be the best years of your life. Have fun in college, but be intentional and understanding of what you got to do to make sure you're happy after college. And I don't want to come off as dense, because I know more than anyone, if you go from living somewhere that feels like you were literally chained down and you couldn't go do nothing with your life, and then all of a sudden the complete opposite happens and now you're more free than Young Thug, it would be in bad faith if I told you to not enjoy yourself. If your body count doesn't at least go up by 10 by the time you leave college, it's like, nah, check it out. But it is a once in a lifetime experience. Like, it only happens once, gang. Like, really enjoy it. You shouldn't aim to peak there, right? But up until like that time of your life, it should be the peak of your life. Like, while you're there, it should be your peak. There should be unlimited nights with you and the homies just sitting and cry laughing, saying some of the craziest unhinged stuff that Elon Musk himself couldn't pay you to re-say again in front of a public crowd. If you ever went to college and you've never hit your mans up at 2 a.m. before, for I don't even care what it is, to hop on the game, to run a 2-man with you, to come jump somebody, whatever. If you've never done that, I don't trust you. You're not doing enough in college for me. Doing less of the extracurricular activities in college does kind of guarantee that college will not be the peak moment in your life, okay? Yes, and that is kind of the point of the video, but that's like too safe, okay? That's too safe of a route for me, all right? Go get out of your comfort zone, especially if you're at a college that no one else from your high school went to. You telling me you got the whole thing, you got the whole you got the whole runway to be whoever you want. Nobody knows about that one time where shorty curved you. I'm not gonna lie, that was type crazy. Nobody knows about that outfit that you wore that you thought was fly, that John was ass. Do you get what I'm saying? And you're telling me that you're choosing to not be a better you? Look, what you need to do is go to the calf, go sit next to some fine shit 3 times a week, spread it out, ask her, excuse me, ma'am, may I sit right here. You get what I'm saying, bro? Give it 3 weeks. You're gonna love your life. Now, will I ever do that? No, I'm not gonna take that advice, but you should though. But remember, it's all about pace though, all right? You can't do all of this at once, okay? You need to ease your way into living and adapt into being at college, because if you go into there too quickly, you might peak early. You might never be able to live the college experience that you're supposed to live or the life that you're supposed to live if you just burn out too early. So take your time, all right? Don't go too crazy too fast. Not to say that you shouldn't peak in college, because you technically should at the time that you're there. You get what I'm saying? Like, you paid $800,000 to get there, gang. You should have a good time. Go crazy, but don't mess up the vision though, all right? It's easy to get lost out there, I'm telling you, because 1 second is smooth, you feel what I'm saying? And the next second, you're trying to wonder why niggas didn't leave the beef at home and how many young niggas you could fight at once, all right? I'm only telling y'all this because as tame and as introverted as I am, even I got lost in it, the college scene, for like 2.5 milliseconds, dead ass. When I first moved to Austin and it hit me that I had free will, I was young and my bank account wasn't on life support. I was on the streets so much, it got nasty. I just meant I was genuinely like outside of my apartment complex, chill. I was outside so much that before I knew it, I had alcohol in my hand. Me, alcohol? Did I drink it? No, not at all. Drinking will never be for me. But that's how fast you can lose yourself. I was only outside for like 2 weeks and I'm already touching liquor when I have never drunk a day in my life. Imagine what being outside for 4 years could have done to me, and imagine what it's doing to kids right now. I be seeing those TikTok edits of year 1 versus year 4 in college, and college got some of y'all fried. It's no way you did anything in moderation while you was out there. Ironically, me, Yo-Yo, and Cloud hit a Canes after DreamCon last year. This is the most packed Canes I have ever been to in my life. As we're walking in, we all see this white girl face down in her throw up, cops trying to wake her up, friends embarrassed, standing in front of the door, and this is either gonna be the darkest time in her life or where she peaks. The amount of disgust on the united amount of faces both inside of that Canes and within the outer people of the streets just seeing it all was insanity. Everyone there, anyone not there, understands that there is a real silver lining between having fun and doing too much to the point where it's not even fun no more. And her having fun isn't the problem, but nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see a person in that position. Gang, she was like these, bro. And the way my brain works when I see something like that is like, okay, now I have to decipher every choice and action that you've made that lets you be in this position. And also now I have to negotiate how selfish I think you are for being in the position that you are in currently. And honestly, while we're on the topic of selfishness, some selflessness that needs to be recognized, shout out to her friends, bro. They were being so patient with the officers. With her, she was literally basically a dead body in GTA. Bro, I would do the same thing. My thing is just, I hate being around drunk people, bro. And given the fact that her friends were so calm during the whole situation, I have no reason not to assume that this isn't like her 10th time doing this. To wake up and decide that you're gonna drink, decide how much you're gonna drink, knowing how much you can and can't handle, knowing if you didn't eat at all that day or if you ate too much that day, to go through that whole list, even if you weren't conscious of every single decision that you were making the whole entire time. Either your homies or yourself has to step in. There was a moment where something in you or in your homies looked at you and was like, you're wildin' and you should probably slow down. And she definitely ignored it. You're literally turning into the girl who's only known for blacking out, only talks/goes to tailgates, and your whole genetic makeup is around dating or talking to, and I use the term dating very loosely in this context, dating or talking to one of the athletes on the team for like a week. It's giving peaked. Actually, no, when they dated them for a week, loosely, dated them for a week, and now they think that they understand how every athlete brain works now. Oh my gosh. Please tell me y'all know what I'm talking about, bro. I promise I'm not making this up. This is real signs of a peaker. So that's why I'm firm in my stance. Don't black out back-to-back nights, okay? Spread it out a little bit, just a little bit. That's why you need moderation. Go out, have fun, but be conscious to not ruin your ability to enjoy your life in the future as well. If I'm paying 10 to 30 bands a year with interest on it, I'm not peaking there. First of all, you can do all the fun college stuff without paying for college. That's what I did. I'm not even gonna cap. I just pulled up. And number two, for 30 bands, do you know what you can actually go do with 30 free bands? Because if you don't, that's the difference between person A and person B, which isn't the end all be all, but peaking is an option, not an accident. At least at that level, it's not by accident, because you got to understand, this is at college, all right? This isn't a high school. This isn't some random place with kids in it. People pay to go here, all right? They choose and think about going there, and then all of a sudden they get there, and then all of that thinking just like stops. I know people who have went to college less aware than that random person that you pick up on games to play squads with, okay? That is, in both scenarios, the quickest way to end up cooked. Do you know how insane it is to spend 30 bands on a tuition and not know what your next plan is? I see people going half on days or buying the cheap nail set so that they can still have a good tonight but a better tomorrow. But you're telling me you can't do that for college? But all of a sudden you're telling me when it comes to college, all right, people just forget to think and be aware of the same type of decision, just on a bigger scale. Mind you, again, this is a whole entire adult that has to remind themselves to feed themselves, exercise, take care of their mental health, that doesn't want to prepare their future for a better tomorrow by moving through college and moderation. That's what I'm looking at when I'm in this freaking Barnes & Noble. Because quite literally, like I've been trying to iterate, if you want your whole entire college identity to lack schooling and be about partying and having fun and things like that, you could quite literally do that without a tuition. Person A understands that concept of have fun but plan for a better tomorrow. Person B, gang, person B might never enjoy another day outside of college again. I just hope and pray that one day college starts being more transparent to people and just tell them like, hey, you're the method. No. Because do y'all know how much degrees aren't being used right now? Because y'all aren't actually doing college. Y'all aren't switching majors fast enough. Y'all are quiet quitting in class, in school. Like, believe in yourself. Don't let them make you be the method. Don't just shut down in college, bruh, and just let the whole experience run through you, and then you don't get no benefit at the end of it. And then even worse, that becomes part of your personality too. And you're like, oh, college sucks, da-da-da-da-da. You might be on autopilot for a little bit of a time, okay? And that's fine. That's understandable. But autopilot the entire time, at some point, you got to understand, gang, that's on you. That's a conscious decision. There's a conscious effort that leads you to being 35, standing over my extra sweet vanilla latte with 2 pumps of syrup. Yes, you can lose yourself, but no matter how lost you get, no matter who you are, everyone has that day or night where you're up at 2 a.m. and that motivation hits where you're like, I gotta get my life together. And in that moment, you either roll back in bed and continue to live the way that you live, or you get on the ground and start doing diamond push-ups. It doesn't get more clear than that. And I don't know what the girl equivalent of that is. I'm pretty sure it's like organizing your room and like writing in a day planner or something. But if there's one thing that I could leave y'all y'all with is that the best example that I truly ever seen in my life for how you're supposed to do college came from my big sister. I don't know a single person on this planet who executed college more properly than she did. Now, I am biased because she is my big sister, but she did college by herself. And when I say by herself, I mean by herself, gang. I went over there to maybe help her move like 2 times in the 4 years that she's been there. I can't even confidently tell you what her degree is. I know it help people. You feel what I'm saying? I know that. I know it make money too. I know it make that. If the word bare minimum had a picture attached to it while my sister was at college, bro, it would be mine. And my parents did what they could, you feel what I'm saying? They helped her with food. They gave her emotional support, but all that, quite frankly, doesn't make these test questions any easier. And not to mention, on top of all of that, I think she only ended up like liking one roommate or something like that, if I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not wrong, because I think they watch my videos and that would kind of be crazy. And look, I promise me and my sister love each other. I love my sister, all right? I'm just dumb. And I also live in the middle of the map. I'm not too close to nothing. But I have to be honest with y'all. I can't lie to y'all. If I ever went on like a game show from my sister and they were asking me things about her college life or her college experience, they would need to ask me the most basic and generic questions. And even then, I'm only getting like a quarter of them right. All right. But that's my sister though. Okay. Like, she's a champ. She's the one that showed me that if there's a will, there's a way can be applied to anything. She had no business about being that adamant about her life, being that conscious of her future, but she did it anyways. She never let college consume her, but she consumed all of the parts of college that she was interested in. And not to mention, I didn't go to college, and neither did my brother, and neither did my mom, and neither did my dad. She did that dolo. She's the only one in my family to go, and she nailed. She still was at the parties. She still joined a frat. She drank her drinks, made her friends, etc. But one thing that she did above all else that allowed her to have multiple drunk nights, miss multiple classes, or late on some assignments is that no matter what, she moved with so much intention that it didn't matter what she did outside of the class, because she never lost the plot. I'm trying to tell y'all. She picked a degree that made her happy. People told her that it wouldn't make money, and she's making more money than anyone who said that. She did her internships, she studied her papers, and did her assignments. My sister is the GOAT. And look, I hate my sister the same way y'all hate your sister, okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my 8 years, 9 years, whatever it is of being on YouTube, you have never seen me glaze my sister like that. And I mean hate like hate. Like, we fought, we argue, and look, like I said, I love her, but every single time that she beat me to the bathroom in the morning and took her sweet time in there while I was about to explode, that did something to my mental health. But all jokes aside, you can have fun while also making conscious decisions in college to set up your life so that you can continue to have even funner times forever. If my sister alone as a black woman in America can figure it out, hey, I'm not gonna lie, anything is possible. Mind you though, I would rather do 25 to life with Diddy in a cell alone than try to explain to y'all how she did it. I just know it's possible. Was it all sunshines and rainbows? Absolutely not. She called my mom's phone crying like at least once a week. Okay, I'm lying. It wasn't once a week. It was more like once a month, maybe once every 2 months, and that's kind of impressive. I just can't glaze my sister like this too much, because if she sees this, she's gonna tell my whole entire family. Her head's gonna get big, and I kind of have to deal with that. So like once a week for the video. A couple of nights definitely happened where she struggled and things of that nature, but she showed me that discipline and perseverance can take you a very, very long ways away. She ain't quit. She ain't give up. She ain't run away. She created a structure that was strong enough to help her stand up and help her up when she wasn't strong enough to do it on her own. Obviously, she wasn't flawlessly perfect. She's human. You get what I'm saying? But from her failures, that's where she learned. And elevated her ability to handle like the college lifestyle. My sister don't gotta go around and yap about no class ring, about no 1-2 achievements, bro, cause she got it like that. Not that there's anything wrong. You can praise those things. You get what I'm saying? She's just lived so much life after college that for her to just talk about college would be less interesting than the things that she has going on right now. That's why staying focused is important. That's why I keep saying moderation is important. That's why I keep saying intention is important. For the very few nights where even when she did want to go out or have fun, etc., but couldn't, she is now traveling the world with all of her like-minded friends who did the same things she did to make up for the times where she couldn't go out. So that's why I say the degree isn't what makes you peak in college. You going out isn't what makes you peak in college. Being around shorties, homies, drugs, etc. is not what makes you peak in college. What makes you peak in college is the simple fact of losing sight on your intention. As long as you can prioritize the end goal that's actually going to make you happy, then you will get to live so much life outside of college to where you still appreciate all the late nights and all the fun times that you did have in college, but you will also have done so much things later in life that continue to align with your happiness, that your peak probably won't happen until you're like old and crusty. So in short, if you didn't take away anything from this video, what you need to take away right now, focus on being intentional. It is the slowest way to guarantee you a long time of happiness, genuinely, because once you do that, you'll start to understand how important balance is. And for you to not have balance, you'll start to understand how important balance is and how easy it is to get knocked off course. But pay attention. All right. Everything that I've said, I 1000% understand. It is easier said than done. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. And if you know you're that person, you're that bum, you're the person with the stinky socks that struggles to stay on track, but you don't want to be that person, my next advice to you would be make friends that you want to be like. Like, go find those people who's gonna help you be accountable. And when they hold you accountable, don't get mad at them. Don't call them fake. Don't call them frauds. That's your twin. All right, he's just looking out for you. And look, once again, obviously that's hard too. Okay, I understand friends aren't necessarily being handed out on a silver platter. Most of the kids in college, I ain't gonna lie, y'all kind of suck. So I see why making friends suck. But with all of that being understood though, the grass could always be greener, gang. It's an option. You could at least go and try to make that happen. And if you think about it the way I think about it, and why I'm able to talk about this topic for so long, is because medicine is only getting better, gang. By the time you graduate college, let's just use round numbers here, you've only lived 24% of your life. Most of y'all are gonna live to 100. You know what I'm saying? Except for you. You with the McDonald's bag that's watching this video, eating McDonald's every day, I'm not gonna cap, you might not touch it. But the rest of y'all, 24% of your life, you're literally gonna live your full life that you've already lived now 3 more times. Like, you're gonna be 24 3 more times before you're even close to dying, gang. So college should not and cannot be the place where you peak in life. But remember, I'm no hater. You are 1000% supposed to peak in college while you're inside of college. Just be conscious though. Just be conscious though of what you can be and don't destroy that future. That's what I'm trying to say. You do not want to be the guy standing over my extra sweet vanilla latte with 2 pumps of syrup, glorifying drugs, and having a beer belly. Pick a struggle. But like I always say, do I care what y'all do? Not necessarily, but I would be a bad YouTube brother if I didn't give y'all my perspective on it. Because at least from me, I think that this is a pretty solid guide on how to not peak in college. And the only thing that I will concede in my argument is that tomorrow isn't promised. And I know not everyone is okay on gambling to be more happy later when they could be 100% happy right now. However, statistically, you have a higher chance of surviving college than dying there. So tomorrow is kind of promised. But the way y'all inhale a vape like the niggas with asthma got the little pump thing, hey, your tomorrow might not be promised. I'm joking. But with that being said, it's a wrap. Fade to black.
Wait, before y'all go, this is Stanley's editor. Go ahead and check out his Stanley Live channel. He keeps forgetting to plug it. Go subscribe to Stanley Live right now.